Most people think NASA engineers are just smarter. Higher IQ, better schools, math prodigies? Wrong. They make mistakes like everyone else. Miscalculations, design flaws, wrong assumptions. The difference. Their system turns failure into fuel. You fail and feel embarrassed. They fail and extract data. By the end of this video, you'll understand why NASA engineers improve faster after setbacks and how to steal that system for exams. Business coding anything. Chapter 1. Failure is mandatory. Average people avoid failure. They aim to get it right. Play it safe. Don't look stupid, idiots. At NASA, failure is built into the process. Before a rocket ever launches, it goes through brutal testing. Vibration tests, thermal extremes, pressure overload. They're trying to break it. Why? Because hidden weaknesses only appear under stress. Psychologist Robert Bjork calls this desirable difficulty. Struggle and error strengthen learning. If you only operate inside comfort, you only expose visible weaknesses. Real growth requires controlled failure. Instead of asking, how do I avoid mistakes? Ask, how do I surface them faster? Mock exams. Prototype quickly. Publish imperfect drafts. Speed of failure equals speed of learning. But here's the problem though. Failure without analysis is just pain. Chapter 2. Post-mortem obsession. After any major incident, NASA runs exhaustive post-mortems. Not emotional, not defensive. Systematic. What was expected? What happened? Why did the deviation occur? What safeguards failed? No ego, just causality. Psychologists call this error-based learning. The brain encodes corrections more deeply when mistakes are examined immediately. Most people fail and move on. They say I'm bad at this. Useless. NASA doesn't say the rocket is bad. No. They identify the bolt, the sensor, the sequence. Precision replaces blame. After every test, ask, where exactly did I hesitate? What assumption was wrong? What step failed? Specificity accelerates improvement. But here's the deeper layer. Even analysis won't help if your memory leaks. Chapter 3. Simulation and repetition. NASA engineers don't test once. They simulate repeatedly under varied conditions. Extreme heat, extreme cold, signal delay. This mirrors what Hermann Ebbinghaus discovered with the forgetting curve. Memory fades unless reinforced at intervals. Spaced repetition isn't just for flashcards. It's for skills. Review core formulas weekly. Revisit key frameworks monthly. Repeat critical drills under new contexts. Consistency beats intensity. You cram once, they iterate continuously. Your brain is a leaky bucket. Repetition under variation plugs the holes. But here's the thing though. Repetition without structure becomes chaos. Chapter 4. Systems thinking. NASA doesn't see parts, they see systems. A bolt isn't just a bolt. It interacts with temperature, pressure, vibration, human error. Everything connects. Psychologist Donella Meadows popularized systems thinking, understanding interconnections rather than isolated events. Most learners memorize fragments. Formula here, definition there. NASA engineers map relationships. Input to process to output to feedback loop. If you're learning coding, don't memorize syntax. Understand how modules interact. Studying biology map pathways. Systems compress complexity. Instead of 100 random facts, you see 5 interlocking loops. Compression increases speed, but here's the final layer. Even perfect systems fail under pressure. Chapter 5. Calm under consequence. Space missions carry enormous stakes. One error can cost billions or lives. NASA trains teams to communicate with clarity under stress. Short phrases, clear checklists, defined roles. Why? Stress reduces working memory capacity. When adrenaline rises, complexity must fall. You experience this in exams. Mind blank, heart racing. Because you never rehearsed under stakes. NASA runs simulations with countdown clocks. Time pressure, unexpected failures injected. Stress exposure builds resilience. State-dependent learning shows recall improves when training conditions match performance conditions. If you only practice calm, you only perform calm. Add time limits, add mild pressure. Train your nervous system. Hit subscribe before you forget this. We engineer smarter brains here. Now zoom out. Why do NASA engineers get smarter after failure? Because they force failure early. Run precise postmortems, repeat under variation. Think in systems. Train under pressure. Structure beats ego. You don't improve because you try harder. You improve because your feedback loop is tighter. But here's the problem though. Even the best feedback loop collapses if you're exhausted. Sleep deprivation destroys cognitive flexibility and memory consolidation. Research shows deep sleep strengthens neural pathways formed during the day. No sleep, no encoding. NASA schedules rest cycles strictly during mission control operations. Because fatigue kills judgment. You treat sleep like optional, then wonder why learning feels slow. Energy is cognitive fuel. And here's the final warning. Even if you adopt NASA's system, if you're focused on the wrong objectives, you'll optimize useless things. NASA defines mission-critical metrics first. Not everything matters equally. Identify your mission. What outcome matters most this quarter? What skills directly affect that? Ignore noise outside your mission parameters. To keep it simple, fail faster, analyze precisely, repeat under variation. Think in systems, simulate pressure, protect sleep, focus on mission-critical skills. That's the NASA learning architecture, not genius, process. But here's the thing though, even the best process fails if your attention is constantly hijacked. Distraction fragments systems thinking. Fragmented thinking creates weak performance. That's why I made a video breaking down how to build unbreakable focus in a world engineered to scatter your brain. Because if you can't control attention, you can't control improvement. Watch that next.